This one video is going to fix all your problems related to text files. Here text files in Python are explained exactly the way board expects. You are going to score full marks from the text file chapter this year. Ready? Let's learn about files. A file is a named location on a secondary storage media where data are permanently stored. So when we normally execute a Python program, what happens? We give input, Python program get executed, and we can see the output on the shell screen. Once again, if you want to execute the program, you have to give the input, then program get executed, you will get the output. So here we are neither saving the input nor the output. So if you want to save this input and output for later use, you can use files. So files allow you to store data permanently for later reusability. So as you know, when you execute a Python program, your Python program extension is .py. Likewise, you can also store program input and outputs into files. There are two types of file we are going to deal. First one is text file, the other one is binary files. Text files consist of human readable characters, alphabets, numbers, symbols, etc. These can be opened in any text editor like Notepad. Examples of text files are .txt, .py, .log or .csv. So here, because the data is stored in human readable format, so for conversion we are using ASCII and Unicode. Now binary files. Here data is stored in the form of sequence of bytes, zeros and ones. They require special software to read because data is stored in zeros and ones. So to convert it into human readable format, some software may require. And when we try to store the data into ASCII, into sequence of bytes, again the data will be converted into from human readable form to sequence of bytes. A single bit change can corrupt a binary file. There are 4 steps. First step is to create a file object. Then you have to open the file using any file mode and then do the asked operation, whether it is reading or writing, then close the file. So you will have to create a file object, open the file, then do the action and then close the file. Now, how to open a text file? There are two methods to open a text file. One is using open function and the other method is using with open function. So, the first method we are going to see now is the open function. So, how to use open function? File object is equal to open, then file name, comma, access mode. Access mode means file mode. So file object, for example, f is equal to open story.txt r. Story.txt is the name of the file, text file, and r is the file mode. Okay. Then we will see now how to open a file using with open function. With open, there is a space in between with and open. With open, then bracket, file name, comma, access mode as file object. So in open function, we used to write file object first. So see, in with open function, file object comes at the end. And after file object, there is a colon. What does this indicates? The following lines after this colon will become a block under with open. Okay. So with open का example देख लीजिए. With open story.txt comma r as f. F is the file object, r is the file mode, story.txt is the file name. Between with open function and open function. As I discussed, in with open, the entire code after with open will come under block. If I write with open something as f colon, then the statement below that will be written after some indent. So once I am coming out of this block, automatically this file object will get closed, will get destroyed. Okay. So we need not to write the close function. We need not to write the close function if you are opening the file in with open method. If you are opening the file using open function, you have to exclusively write f dot close method. Okay. That is the difference between open and close. Now let's see what are the file modes available. The first file mode we are going to talk about is R mode. If you are opening a file in R mode, like we have seen just now in previous example, we opened the story.txt in R mode. So if you are opening a file in R mode, you can only do read operation on that file. Okay, you cannot change the contents in the file. You can only do read operation. If you are opening the file in R plus mode, if you are opening the file in R plus mode, you can do read as well as write operation. In both the case, you will get the file pointer at the beginning of the file. Now, the next file mode is W. If you open the file in W mode, what happens? The file will be opened for writing. So, you can write in the file. In W mode, the thing you have to take care of is that if you are opening an existing file in W mode, all the content in the file will be erased and data will be rewritten from the beginning. So if the file does not exist, a new file will be created. So from that we can conclude that whenever you want to create a new file, open the file in which mode? W mode. Now W plus mode. If you are opening a file using W plus mode, you are opening the file for reading as well as writing. Here also, if the file is already existing, entire data will get erased. And if the file is not existing, a new file will be created. Here also, the file pointer will be at the beginning of the file. The next mode is append mode. If you are opening a file in append mode, if the file does not exist, it will create a new file and the pointer will be at the end of the file. So you are opening this file for adding something. So where you can add at the end of the file. Okay. Then if you are opening the file in append mode and the file is existing, what happens? Will the data get erased? No, data will be there. If the file does not exist, data will be, the file will be created, new file will be created. Now in A plus mode, the file is opened for appending and reading. If the file is not existing, what happens? A new file will be created. If the file is existing, content will be retained and appending will be done at the end of the file. File pointer will be at the end of the file. So students, here what you have to remember is, for creating a new file, you can use either W mode, W plus mode, A mode or A plus mode for creating a new file. And also you have to remember, if you are opening an existing file in W mode or W plus mode, you will lose the entire content inside the file. If you are opening an existing file in R mode, R plus mode, A mode or A plus mode, content will be retained. Okay. Now, how to read data from an existing text file? We have opened the file for reading, samajh lo. Now we have to read the data. What all are the functions which will help you to read from the file? So for reading from the file, you can use read function. Okay. read function. What does it read? It reads n number of characters, n bytes from the text file. So if you are writing f dot read 4, okay, that is equal to s is equal to f dot read 4. That will read what? 4 characters from the file f. 4 characters from the file f. If you are not mentioning anything, suppose you are writing s is equal to f dot read open bracket close bracket, what will happen? Complete content, entire content of the file will be stored into s. Okay, so that is what read function will do. If you are using the file, if you are using the function for reading some characters, you have to mention the number of bytes or number of characters you want to read. If you want to read the entire file into a string variable, then you can use the function without any integer mentioned inside as parameter. Now next is read line function. Read line function will help you to read one complete line from the file. One line from the file. Okay, read line will read one line from the file. So if you are writing s is equal to f dot read line, that means one line from the file f will be read and that will be stored into s. So one thing you have to note is that once one line is read, if you are using this again you are writing f is equal to f dot read line open bracket close bracket, the next line will be read. Okay. So once the cursor is moving forward, cursor will not come back, it will move forward only. Now let's see the next function, which is read lines. Read lines functions will read all the lines from the file and the lines will be stored in a list separated by comma. So if you are using read lines function, entire file will be read and that will be stored into a list. Okay, L is equal to f dot read lines. Read lines. Mane, the complete lines, the entire lines from the file will be stored into L. How it will be stored? In the form of list. So this is the only function which is going to give you output in list. All the other function like read or read line will be giving you output in terms of string. This read lines function will give you output in the data type list. So here one line will be in one as represented as one string and next line will be as next string and so on. Okay. Now there is one more method to access data from the files, a text file, that is called iteration. This method we normally don't use much, but you have to learn that also. So if you are a file object named f, you can use for loop for r in f. Okay, for r in f, print r. What will happen? The characters from the file will be printed until f exists. So this is the iteration method and all these are the functions to read data from the file. So all these things we will learn more using examples. Then how to write data into string. Why we need to write? We need to create files. If you want to create a file, you have to write into the file. If you want to write into the files, you have to use these two functions. One is write, the other one is write lines. Write function will allow you to write one single string into the file. Okay, one single string into the file. How you can use f dot write, f dot write, and you write hello, then hello will be written into the file. Write lines, you can write a sequence of strings. sequence of string which is arranged in a list of tuples can be directly written into the file. Okay, write lines, the input type is list. Write function, the input type is string. That has to be noted. Now let's see an example. Write a function to count and display the number of occurrences of the alphabet A or A in a given text file named story.txt. Students, when you read this kind of questions, now you have to underline the key points of the question. Write a function to count and display. What is the key point here? Count and display is the key point. Count and display what? The number of occurrences of the alphabet. The number of occurrence of the alphabet in a given text file named story.txt. So this question is asking you to count the occurrence of capital A or small a in the content stored in story.txt and display the count. So output will be a number only, count money a number. So output will be a number. You have to display the number. Let's see the question.
First, we have to write the function definition. For that, we will write def, then the name of the function. Since this function has no name given in the question, I'll be using example as the name. If there is a specific name given in the question, you can use that. F is equal to open. Now I am going to open my file story.txt, story.txt in inverted comma, then I have to write the mode. Here I am using the read mode because I am opening the file which has some content in it, and I am going to bring the content into a string named s. For that I will be using the read function f.read. So this read function will bring or will return all the content, all the text from the file story.txt, and that will be stored in the variable named s, and the data type of s will be string. So I have entire text from story.txt now stored inside s. Now I'll initialize a counter variable so that I can count inside a loop. Now I will scan through s for ch in s. That means ch will take one character from s. So I am going to check whether each character, I am going to check all the characters, one characters I am going to take from the 0th position. I am going to check whether the character is equal to small a or capital A. If it is equal to either small a or capital A, I have to increase the count. To do this only we have initialized C outside the loop. Now after this we can give the print statement outside the loop. Like count is equal to comma where the count is available now in the variable named C. Now we can close the file f.close, and you can come out of the function program and function block of the function, and now you have to call the function. For calling the function you just need to write the name of the function and open bracket close bracket. Now students, I have already stored a story.txt here in the same directory. So you can see the content. The content is like this. So I am going to read this file into program and count the number of capital A and small a. Let's run this program. The count is 6. If you want to count individually, the number of capital A is how much and the number of small a is how much, then you have to make some adjustments in the program. The same program I will show you how to do that. For this we need two counter variable. I'll take C1 and C2. I will initialize both to 0. Now if CH is equal to A, what I have to do? I will initialize C1 to C1 plus 1. And here I am going to change this to if case. If CH is equal to A, C2 is equal to C2 plus 1. Now we have to print it differently. So count of capital A is inside C1 and count of small a is inside which variable? C2. Okay. Now let's run this code. So we got it differently. Let's do this program differently now. I'm going to delete all this. Now let's open the file again. Open. Inside the bracket, inside inverted comma, we have to write story.txt to open the file, and then the file is open for reading. Now I am going to use f.read to take all the content from that story.txt file to my program. Now here I am not going to use any loop. I am going to use the function count to count the number of a particular alphabet present in the file. Okay. So C is equal to S dot count. I am going to count the number of occurrences of A, and that I will add to the number of occurrences of small a. Okay. Then I can directly print the count. Count is equal to what? C. Count is equal to C. So this program is going to give the number of occurrences of capital A and small a together. Okay. Now we have to close the program, close the file, sorry. F dot close. We are closing the file and coming out of the loop, and we are going to make a call to the function. I'm going to make a call to the function now. Let's execute this. Count is equal to 6. We are getting the same output.
Function to count and display the number of vowels in a given text file named story. So key words are count and display the number of vowels. Okay, again in this question only one number will be displayed. Let's solve this question.
To count and display the number of vowels in a given text file, we will define the function name first, because question is asking us to make a function. def example open bracket close bracket, and then we have to open the file. I am using open function to open the file. Name of the file is story.txt, story.txt, and then I have to mention the mode in which I am going to open the file. Now I am going to bring all the content from the text file to my program by using the read function. Now I need to count the number of vowels in the file. Okay, number of vowels. So that means I have to take out each character and I have to check whether it is vowel or not. To do that, first of all, I will store all the vowels available in a variable named v. Then I'll start my counter variable to 0. Then I'll start my for loop for ch in s. Now I have to check this ch against vowel. If ch in v, that means if the ch, the character ch is there in v, v is what? All the vowels. So if ch is a, this statement will give true as output. If ch is o, the statement will give true as output. If ch is t, the statement will give false as output. So if the statement is giving true as output, then we need to increment the count. Okay. Now move out of the loop, and then we will close the file. Before closing, we need to print the count. Okay, count number of vowels. Which variable we have stored? C. Now we have to close the file. C closing, and then we have to call the function call. Now we can execute the program and see whether we are getting output or not. So number of vowels in story.txt is 13.
Question is, write a function to count and display the number of occurrences of the word the and the in the given text file named story.txt. So here we are going to count the word. So far we have only counted the alphabets. Now we are moving into next level, that is counting the words. So we have to count and display the number of occurrences of the word the in the given text file story.txt. Let's solve this.
Okay, let's start writing the function definition. Def, the name of the function is example, open bracket, close bracket, colon. F is equal to open. Now I am going to open the file story.txt, and I am opening the file in read mode. Now I am going to bring the content of this particular file into my program. That also done. And now I am going to use a particular function. The function name is split. What does this function do? No, this function will split the content of the given argument. The argument here is s, to words. Okay, I'll show you. I'll just print L and I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, I'll also print S so that you can distinguish between both of them. Let me first print S, then I'll print L so that you can understand the difference between these two. Now let's close this function. Our program is not finished. I am just writing it so that you can understand the working of the function split. Okay, just run this code. See, this is S. S, what was the content inside S? A story. Now see, this is our L. L is equal to S dot split we have done. So after that L looks like this. What does this symbol means? This symbol means it's a list. So all the words we have got here separated by comma. Okay, this is what we wanted. Now let's go back and complete writing the code. Now once we got all the words in L, what we need to do? We need to check whether that particular word is the or not. So L is a complete list of words. So we have to traverse through L. For word in L. For each word in L, I'll check if the word from L is equal to this the or the word is equal to the small the, then what I need to do? I need to increment the count. And C is equal to C plus 1. But I found I haven't initialized C. So I'll initialize C outside the loop. Now I'll come out of the loop and I'll close this file. And before closing this file, I need to print also. I'll write a print statement. Print count is equal to what? C. Okay, this must be out of the loop because after finishing the loop only we will get the number of the total number of the or the present. If I put this print inside the loop, what will happen? It will print n times. How many words are there? That many times this will be printed. So I don't want that. So I am taking the print outside the loop. Now let's run this code and see that. So count the number of the or the present in the file is 23.
Write a function to count and display number of lines starting with alphabet T. So what you will underline number of lines starting with alphabet T. Okay, so here we are going to read lines and we are going to check whether they are starting with the alphabet T or not. Let's do that.
For doing this program, you can use read line or read lines function. We are not going to use read function for this program because this program is going to deal with the lines. So it indicates we need to read the lines from the text file. So for that I have written the function header, then I opened the file. Now I am going to read the content into the file. For that, first of all, I am going to use read line. So as I explained in the first session of this video, that read line will read one line from the file. So if one line after another line to be read, you know that your story.txt has n number of lines. So you are not going to write n number of read line, isn't it? So you have to use a loop. For that we are using an infinite loop, that is while true. While true will run infinite time unless until we break it. Okay. So I am going to break this loop at one time when I reach the end of the file. So first I am going to read data into my program using the function read line f dot read line. So this will make one line from story.txt to appear inside s, and the data type of s will be string only. Okay. Now after this reading done, if suppose I have already reached the end of the file, there is no content. So I have to stop this unlimited loop. For that I'll write if s has no content. Okay, then break from the loop. This is just to break an unlimited loop. Other than that, there is no use of this code. This code is used to just take a break from the loop. Okay. So if we normally see what happened, I have read one line from the file, and if the file contains, if the that one line is valid, the first line or second line, it has some content, that content has already appeared inside. Yes. Now I have to see the particular line whether it is starting with a T or not. So for that I have to check the first character of S, whether the first character of S is equal to capital T. If it is equal to capital T, what I need to do is I need to increment the count. If I have to increment the count in the loop, then I have to initialize the count to 0 outside the loop. So this is it. Now I can close my file, f dot close. Before that I'll print count is equal to C, and afterwards I'll close. Then I will call this function example by writing the name of the function. Now let's execute and see. It is an invalid syntax because single equal to will not work for comparison. We have to put double equal to. Okay, let's run. The count is 9. Now let's do the same program using read lines function. If I am using read lines, then this loop is not required because read lines will bring all the lines at once into one variable. So I can avoid this and I can completely bring the contents into one variable by simply writing read lines. So let's just see what will be the output inside S will look like. just print S and see how will it look like. So our S will look like this. S, the data type of S is a list. Square bracket indicates list data type, and one line is full stop and then backslash n, then next line and full stop and then backslash n, and the third line full stop and backslash n. Backslash n indicates new line. Okay, so this is how our S looks like. Now what we have to do is we have to check the first character of each line and to find out whether it starts with a T or not. Let's go back and write the code. So this I am removing. So S is a list containing all the lines, and now I have to take out each line from S, and I have to check whether the first character of each line is equal to T or not. Okay, if it is equal to C, then I have T and then I have to increment the count. After completing the loop, I'll print the count. That is count is equal to comma, sorry, inverted comma close, comma and C. Now close the file. Make a function call. Now done. Let's run and see. The count is equal to 9.
Write a function or method display words in Python to read lines from text file story.txt and display those words which are less than 4 characters. We have to create a function named display words, and that is going to read lines, and the output should be, it has to display the words which are less than 4 characters. The words which has less than 4 characters has to be displayed. Let's do it. And this program has to be done using function. So first we have to define the function def, and the name of the function is display words. My dear students, it has to be noted that whatever may be the function name given in the question paper, you have to write as it is. You are not allowed to change anything in the function name. Okay. Now def display words, we have to open the file. Open. Name of the file, which is story.txt, and colon. Then we have to mention the file name, that is R. Open. And now I'm going to use the read lines. S is equal to F dot read lines. So this function will bring entire content from the file story.txt to S in the form of list. Inside that list, all lines will be arranged separated by comma. So I got a list containing all the lines separated by comma. So I have to take out lines from the list. So I will write 4 line in S. So now I got the lines. Now I have to split the lines so that I can get a list of words. S is equal to L is equal to line dot split. So this will split all the lines. This will split all the lines, sorry, one line, and that will be converted into words and it will be arranged in a list. Okay, now I have to take out each word from L. For each word in L, I will check the length of the word. If len of word is less than 4, what I need to do? I only need to print that word. Print word, nothing else. Okay. So now I have to close the file f dot close. So I have closed the file. If I am not writing this f dot close, I'll lose half mark here. Okay, so this should not be avoided. You have to close the file if you have opened using open function. If you have used with open function, this is not required. But for safer side, I would advise all of you to write f dot close. Okay, now I have to call this function display words. So that it can be executed. Okay, so this is my function. Now let's run. See, all the words less than 4 characters is being printed. Okay.
Now the next question is to write a Python function that displays all the lines containing the word vote from the text file election.txt. So here an example is given. In the example, there are lines in which the word vote is there. Also votes is there, and in some line there is the word voting. But if you see the output, only those lines are displayed where clearly the word vote appears. So we will also solve the question keeping that in mind.
We have to write or define the function first. I am giving the name as display because name is not defined in the question. So def display. Now I have to display the lines which are containing the word vote. So here also I am going to use the function read lines. For that I am opening my file first. F is equal to open in inverted comma elections dot txt comma. I will open the file in read mode. Then I have to read the contents using any function. So I am going to use the function read lines. So I got all the lines read into the variable called s. S will be a list of lines. Then I'm going to take out each line for line in s. Okay. Now I have to split the line to convert it into words. L is equal to line dot split. Now I have to take out each word from L for word in L. Now I have to check whether this word is vote or not. If word is equal to vote, if word is equal to vote, what should I do? I should just print that line. Now I'll come out of this and I'll print. I will call the function. First of all I will close this. I'll close this file f dot close. Then I'll come out and I'll call this function. Make a call to this function. Now let's run this. So I got the output here. Once again we'll run and see. See, there is the exact output I have got. Okay, write a Python function that displays all the words starting and ending with a vowel. All the words starting with and ending with a vowel. Okay, we have to display the words starting and ending with a vowel from the reporter .txt. The consecutive word should be separated by a space in the output. For example, if the file contains the following text, the output should be like this. Let's do this. So I should define the function. So I am defining the function first, def display and colon. Now I have to open the file. F is equal to open and name of the file is report.txt. And I'm going to open this file in read mode because I have to do the read operation only. Now I want to bring entire content into the file program, Python program, and I have to take out words. So I don't have to do anything with the lines here. So I'm going to take out the words. So I'm going to use the function read only. If you want, you can use read lines also. So by doing this, what I have done is I have brought out all the content from the file report.txt to S. S is a string. Okay. Now I'm going to split the string so that I can make this into list of words. L is equal to S dot split. So I got all the words in the list named L separated by comma. Now I have to take out each word for each word from L. To take out each word from L, now I have to check if word of 0, the first character, if it is equal to vowel. So for vowels I haven't done anything. So I am going to initialize vowel into a variable named V, A, E, I, O, U and A, E, I. Okay. So now I have the variables here, vowels here stored inside V. Now I will check word of 0, whether word of 0 is in V. Word of 0 is the first character of the word. Whether the first character of word is there in AEIOU, that's what I am checking. And also whether the last character is there in V. So I am checking in this loop whether the first and last character is available in V or not. If it is there, if I am satisfying this condition, that means I can print that word. So for printing, one instruction is been given. Consecutive words should be separated by a space. So this word should be separated by space. I am giving a blank space here. Okay, blank space. All the words must be separated by space, and also it should be in one line. So I am giving an end here so that it will be printed in one line. Now I can close the function, the file, close the file, f dot close. I'm going to call the function now. Function name is display, open bracket, close bracket. Now let's run this question. So I got the output, once an awesome able. Okay. Covered the complete syllabus of text file. We will continue with another topic in next session. Have a nice day. Enjoy.